channel. I'm Nicole. I'm a 33-year-old cash budgeter in Virginia. I am currently a stay-at-home mom to two littles, and we are currently trying to become debt-free and just get our family in a more financially stable situation. If that sounds like content that interests you, I would love it if you could stick around and help keep me accountable. All right, so today we are going to be doing a quick cash stuffing of my expenses binder. This money is what's left over from my husband's paycheck. He does get paid bi-weekly, and he got paid last week actually, and this is just what is left over after paying bills and what we have spent so far. We have done a couple of grocery trips as well as um, a few miscellaneous spending transactions. Um, so I have my cash planning sheet right here. This is from Michaela Creations Co. It's super cute. I have had to make some edits because I did this a couple days ago, and I have since spent some money before I was able to actually do my cash stuffing. Um, so I have already did my deposit for our second week of bills, and this was everything I was kind of planning to do with what was left. But like I said, I've had to change a few things around. And then these little categories down here are my savings challenges, and I have already pulled the cash out for all of those. And I'm not sure what order these videos are going to post in, but you should also be seeing those. At this point, I know for a fact I've already completed my like mini challenges because I wanted to get that up on Monday, and today is Tuesday. So you should have already seen the mini Monday binder. If you haven't, go check it out. And what we are left with after the changes I've made and everything is $490. Um, I apologize if I'm kind of out of breath, but I just had to do a 30-minute long Zoom meeting. And I also started filming this video earlier before my meeting and was almost done. And then I realized I was not recording the entire time. So this is round two, which is why I have some check marks over here. But anyways, here we go, and let's stuff our binder. So this is what I consider my expenses binder. This is pretty much everything that we potentially would budget for and actually use on a weekly basis. And then in the back of my binder, I have a bills section where if I am pulling money for some bills that I don't want to keep in the bank account, I can just put it in there very quickly, and it's easily accessible. And then most of this is from Budget with Maddie. I got one of her little like mystery grab bags a couple weeks back, and it was amazing. I absolutely love this binder. It's such good quality. This is the only binder out of my setup that I have right now that is a snap closure and has like the wider rings. And I'm convinced these binders are so great compared to a basic like Amazon binder. The difference is insane. And most Amazon binders only have the magnetic closure, which I've already broken a few of these binders with like jamming this part to where it doesn't close anymore. These binders are great when you are just getting started and just for like random things. Like I have a bunch of my savings challenges in these. But for my main binder, I definitely loved that I was able to upgrade to the Budget with Maddie binder. Um, it's just simply amazing, honestly. I do have two more binders that are actually on the way to me. They should be getting here in the next couple days from Simply Budgeted. I ordered two binders from her, so I'm going to switch out all my main binders, and they will all be these nice, pretty binders. I am so excited. So I will do a like official unboxing and everything when I get those. All right, so like I said, the binder and most of this is from Budget with Maddie, and I do have this little dashboard from the Aesthetic Dollar. Um, I believe this dashboard and my bookmarks, I believe, are all from the Blushing Hippo on Etsy. I know the bookmarks are, I think my dashboards are as well. I've been ordering a lot of stuff from her, so I'm pretty sure they are. And then I just use the cardstock inserts into my soft PVC envelopes. I used to use the really nice, like vellum hard envelopes that I would make, but I change out my categories so frequently that I realized um, needing the ease of just being able to take this out and put a new one in is just unmatched. I do not have time to make envelopes for myself on that level. So these are just some basic inserts that I did, and they work perfectly fine, and I love them. So first up, we are going to be doing our weekly buffer. And I'll kind of do a little bit of explanation for each of these envelopes in this binder, even though I do plan to do like a whole binder, like setup tour once I get my new binders. But my weekly buffer envelope is basically exactly what it stands for. So my husband gets paid biweekly, and he gets paid on a Thursday. And typically, that first weekend after he gets paid is a very heavy spending weekend between just errands and groceries and anything that we were putting off until payday. So that week, I know for a fact we will spend more. Our second week of the pay period is typically a lot less expensive. And what I like to do is put a little money to the side in the buffer so that if something comes up during that second week or we overspend somewhere, that I can pull that money to help cover. And then at the end of the week, if that money is still in this envelope, it gets pulled for savings challenges. You will notice that most of these envelopes, actually, I'm pretty sure every single one of these envelopes are empty. That's how I like to keep them, plus or minus a few. Right now, they are all empty because I just redid everything, but most of this money is either spent every week or we pull it for savings challenges and start fresh the next week. It's not considered a like sinking fund. So the buffer is going to get $40, and I'm going to do a 20 and 2 10s for $40. And like I said, that's all that this has. Child care. I have two children. They are 3.5 and 16 months old, and I stay home with them. But my 3.5-year-old has a part-time in-home daycare provider that he is allowed to go to when I think he needs to have some socialization, go play with some friends if he's just been stuck in the house all week. Um, and so I like to keep some money in here to help pay for that when I decide it's time for him to go. So that is going to get 50. And again, that's all it has. Costco, everyone's favorite. Costco is a store that I spend way too much money at. So something I am starting to do is I'm trying to create a Costco buffer, and pretty much I do my main grocery shopping between Sam's Club, Aldi, and our like local miscellaneous grocery stores like Walmart, Target, etc., just for like random stuff. But predominantly it is Sam's Club and Aldi. And we do love Costco, especially for some of the snack items for our children. And Sam's Club has been stepping it up lately, though. I've started finding a ton of really good options at Sam's Club, but there are still some staples that I have to get at Costco. And inevitably, when I go, I'm going to find extra stuff that I want as well. So, creating a Costco buffer has become a necessity. And we just went to Costco not too long ago, so this envelope is empty, and it is going to get a 50 today. I will also pull from this envelope if for some reason my regular grocery budget just completely gets blown or I need more money for groceries, I will definitely pull from my Costco envelope. Next up is eating out, which is also empty. And today it's going to get $70. And this is basically for this upcoming weekend. So the second weekend of the pay period. We, like everybody else, are definitely trying to cut spending down. And the easiest way or the most cost efficient way that we have found to do that is to try and cut our eating out expenses. And I feel like, have done that really good. We've cut out most of our family meal spending, which is like dinners, um, because that's obviously the most expensive meal to eat out. Um, my husband and I will both still, you know, grab a breakfast or a lunch or a coffee or something like that while either I'm running errands or while my husband's at work if we don't have leftovers for him to take or something like that. But predominantly, this envelope is used for our family meals um, over the weekend when we've given ourselves the permission to eat out if we want it. Because the way we spend money is kind of like we are doing our best to budget, obviously, but we also we're mood spenders, which is something we're also really trying to get better at. But my husband does not cook. I loathe cooking. I do not like to cook. And I was never taught to cook. Everything that I've learned has been self-taught and just kind of what, you know, the instructions tell me to do. Like I am not that mom. I am not that wife. And cooking meals has definitely become a huge struggle for us. So we are definitely trying our best. But right now, my total eating out budget for the whole 2 weeks is still sitting around like $150, which is horrible. I know. So I will say, with the $70 that I just put in there, if that is still in there at the end of the pay period, I will take it out and it does go to savings challenges as well. So there is hope for us not to spend this money, but I've learned we need it there because inevitably we do spend money. Hopefully, not all of it, but we do spend it. Okay, next up is going to be my gas buffer envelope. This is not getting anything this time. We've already gotten our gas for this pay period. Typically, my husband fills up every pay period, and I will fill my gas tank if it's below a half. If it's not below a half at the time we get paid, is when I will stuff this envelope and I will put maybe like 20 bucks in here. And that'll be the buffer for if I need gas before the following pay period. But I did fill up this pay period, so I should be fine with gas, and I'm not putting anything in it this time. Grocery, we've already did the majority of our grocery spending for this pay period. So I am just going to put $50 in here, and that is just going to be for any odds and ends that we realize we need before the next payday. I've already done a $200 Sam's Club. I did, I think, like a $40 Walmart pickup, and then today or this morning, actually, I had to do another like $77 at Aldi. So that is roughly, we're already over $300 for this pay period. So my goal is definitely to keep our grocery spending under $400, but ideally I would love for that to go under 300 with my kids being so little, but we will see. So that just got 50 today. Health and baby is not getting anything. Right now we do have our what is it called? HSA account, like through your insurance, is what we are using for any type of qualifying purchases for health. And then baby is obviously, I have a 16-month-old who is still in diapers, so this is where I put her diaper money, or any other type of like personal products that we may need. but I just stocked up on diapers and pulled everything out of here. So that will not be getting stuffed until next time. Same thing with household. Um, not getting anything now because we just got everything. Jason is my husband and he is getting $40. That man can spend some money, let me tell you. We actually got him his own separate checking account instead of our joint account. And I transfer money into that account as needed for him, or what, I don't want to say as needed. I try and budget out money for him to help try and assist him in staying on a budget, but he still has like certain accounts linked to our joint checking account still, like his card. And many times he will just still spend out of our joint account. So this envelope is typically where I pay that back. Knowing he's probably going to be spending money, I try and always give him a buffer as well. He also does a weekly golf league that is $32 a week. And I will either put that money in here to pull from if he, as a buffer, in case he spends the money that I've already transferred to him in his account um, for that golf league. The kiddos just get $10. And this is just, a way to try and keep up to get some type of savings going for them or spending money for them. They are not really at the age where they can tell me that they want something. Obviously, my 3.5-year-old, if we're at the store and he sees something and he'll say, I want that. But most of the time we tell him no because we, are trying to teach him restraint. If it's a trip that we already know we're going to be getting him something, we will let him pick out something. But for the most part, we're trying not to buy our kids something every time we go to the store. So if this money does not get spent at the end of the week, it gets reallocated into the kids' envelopes. Miscellaneous is miscellaneous. I am not stuffing this because I stuffed money into our buffer and we've already spent our miscellaneous money for the most part. And then now we have my envelope and I'm going to be getting $30. And this is just my personal money or what's left of my personal money. And at the end of the pay period, typically that money goes towards my credit card because if I don't want to spend money out of our checking account, since my husband has access to our second checking account, I do not. I will use my credit card and then I pay it back with this money. Um, so far, I've only spent $20 though, and so I know that money will cover it. And okay, what do we have left? We have $150 left. Oh, utilities. Okay, so obviously we have a pet care envelope. I've already bought my dogs. I have 2 dogs. I've already bought their stuff for this pay period, so that is empty. This is just their basic dog food, treats, anything like that for them. This is not their like medical envelope for the vet or anything like that. So the last 150 is going to go into our utilities envelope, and this envelope is getting stuffed not necessarily because I didn't not this envelope is getting stuffed not necessarily because um, that bill is due right now, but it's the expensive season for our electric bill. Obviously, our AC is running. I am in Virginia. It's hot, and we like to feel comfortable in our house, so we keep our thermostat decently low. And this upcoming bill is going to be historically our, not historically, but typically it is our most expensive bill, the next 2 bills that we get from our electric company. So I wanted to put a little bit in there to help out for next pay period when that bill is due and it not be so soul crushing, basically. But that's it. We are out of money. That is all that we are going to be stuffing in this binder today. Thank you so much for watching this video. It was definitely a little more chatty than some of my previous videos that I have recorded. Hopefully that means I'm getting a little bit more comfortable. And I definitely appreciate you being here. Please consider subscribing, give the video a thumbs up, leave a comment below. I would love to get to know who's watching these videos. And if you obviously have any questions, please feel free to ask. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Living life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days.